Welcome back everybody to a brand new rebuild, and today we are going to be taking on probably one of the hardest rebuilds I have ever undertaken. And yes, we are heading over to MORECOMBE, where they are in they're in a little bit of a state and in danger of being wiped off the football scene. First game of the season this season was postponed, with a further meeting going on towards the end of this month, I believe in August, and if nothing is sorted, then they could face danger of going out of football business altogether, which is a shame because they're probably one of the longest standing clubs as well. They have been in the Football League for the past 17, 18, 19 years in League 2 and had a couple of season stints in League 1, but they have just been relegated to the National League, where they could face suspension altogether. So we shall see what we can do. I'm not expecting a lots of money, but we are aiming to, in the end, if we can, to win the Premier League, taken from the foot of football right up to the very pinnacle of the English pyramid. So let's see what we have got to play with. As predicted, no transfer budget whatsoever. We are predicted to be relegated straight away. Is that correct? I'm sure that is relegated from League 1. They're on the Vanarama, but that's right, because they are predicted. So this is 2023, not 24-25, but we are playing an updated database, which we are currently in 25-26 season. It's getting so confusing. FM26, come out very quickly, please. There's no director of football, which you probably would expect. We have got a couple of trophies under our belts, which is nice. One of them being the FA Trophy, I think it's 1974, that one. And then that was the Conference League Cup back in 1998. Preferred formation, a 4-2-3-1, 2 DMs, which is nice. I don't know how that would fare in the National League, but we can see what we got, players what we got as well, see if that will fit into there. Obviously, there's no transfer or loan obligations. I don't even know if they've got a transfer ban as well, actually, to be fair. And also, what we want to do is build up their finances as well. I mean, currently they've got no debt, but we know that's not true. But it's nice to see they've got at least something in there. I'm assuming that was couple of seasons ago, and then it's just got from bad to worse, hasn't it? So we'll have a look at the youth team at first, see what we have got to play with. So we have got a couple of players 17 and under. Lennon Dobson, he looks high potential, could play DM midfield. Not much to look at, but probably okay for the National League maybe. We will be relying heavily on the youth setup, see if we can get them up to scratch as quick as possible as well. They're probably getting more game time, which probably means that we might struggle to get out of the National League straight away. So we'll see how long this is going to take. So predictions down in the comments before you start delving into the video. How long do you reckon this will take? To 1, get into the Premiership, 2, to win it. And it'd be nice to win a couple of trophies along the way if we can. A small squad. I don't know if we can play younger players. I'm sure we can. I mean, the squad that they've got, I mean, does that mean they're too good for the National League? But they are the wrong side of 30, majority of them, although they're probably actually into their prime. But we have got a lot of youth teamers. A lot of players did leave. Van Songo. Let's have a look what he looks like. Again, not too bad. Midfielder, DM as well. So if they want to play 2 DMs, I think that could work for us. Have a young player alongside him. Gawain Edwards. Actually, he looks pretty tasty, doesn't he? A right winger. But are we going to be using wingers? I suppose we may have to. It's the only thing that's going to work, I reckon. Luke Hendry, 30, right back. Again, pretty nice. Technicals, not much to look at. Ben Tullet, again, not bad. Left winger. So we've got a left and right winger, so that's good. We've got Paul Lewis, a cam or midfielder. I'm sure he can play cam position, which I think at the moment 4-2-3-1 is going to work for us. We have got a goalkeeper. That's always a good sign. And we've got Jack Stratton as well, a striker. Okay, so we've got a DM, a cam wingers, a goalkeeper, and a striker. So far, so good. But if these get injured, we're going to be in a little bit of bother. On the other end of the scale, I'm not sure how good some of these are. Probably not much to look at. Wow, okay. Oh dear. Has anybody got double digits in anything? That's what I'm looking at now. It doesn't appear to look like it. Oh dear, we could be struggling here. Wow, we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need our first 7 to be fit every game, and it's going to be a long season as well. So there will be injuries inbound. So what we're going to have to do straight off the bat is look at our youth and promote. I don't know whether we can actually use these players, but I'm sure they'll appreciate the game time. So by the time we eventually get into the Football League, these will be all set up, ready for it, I think. And what I'll do, I'll leave these youngsters in here, depending on what our squad's depth looks like. We may have to put them in. I'm worried about this, I have to say, although at the moment, financially, we're okay in game. But we know that's not the case in real life. So we'll do what we can to remedy the situation. So let's sort out a squad. In fact, I might actually put the whole lot, all these players, into the first team and see what we can do. You're all in the squad, boys. Literally, boys. The squad then looks a little bit like this now. I think them other players, the 19-year-olds, were just made up players to just bulk the squad out. But because I've moved the youth team in, it's taken them out. So we are going to have to do some work here to get some more players in, that's for sure. We ain't got no defenders, I've just realised. Just a right back. Oh dear, this could be a problem. As there were no transfers to go out, Jack Stretton, we do sign on a contract for £25,000. There was a contract that was already done and dusted. We had no input on that, but the money was already spent out of last season's budget, so it didn't affect this season at all. But a cracking player, and we've got him for a couple of years. On loan from Manchester United and bring in Aidan Haven. We'll see how he does. He's 18 years old to play at the back. Josh Nichols from Arsenal, a right or left back, more preferably on the right hand side due to his loan agreement, but we'll see which end he ends up playing. Josh King from Fulham, a DM or midfielder, again 18 years old. I tried picking players that we didn't have to pay a wage, and there were very few and far between. From West Ham on a free, Regan Clayton, a left back. He looks pretty solid actually. His acceleration pace looks nice, crossing's good, he can dribble. And some of his mentals are really good as well, and at 20 years old. But we are paying £50 a week for him though, unfortunately. And finally on loan from Newcastle, Thomas Bryant, a left back. I only picked him for his physicalities and a couple of mentals. That was about it. And again, another player that we didn't have to pay wages, and thankfully he was one of them. Behind the scenes, there were a couple of players going into the under 18s. Obviously, we've moved out into the first team. Will Radford, Bukayo Hart, Jared Greengrass and Stuart Everett all came in on a free, and I think they're only being paid £50 a week as well, so that's an added bonus. We are adopting the 4-2-3-1, which just seems a pretty standard one really. We don't want nothing too complicated at this stage, and if we pick our best 11, all the players that we have picked in, especially our loanees, apart from Bryant, because we've already got a left back loan to play in that position. But other than that, all our other loanees are in. We've started the campaign in the National League against Yeovil with a cracking 2-0 victory. Then we played Hartlepool and absolutely smashed them out of the park 5-2. Halifax were beaten 1-0 thanks to a penalty. Altrincham 5-3 at home. Again, scoring 5 goals at home and a 3-1 win over Braintree. We are currently lying top of the table. I can't ask for anything more than that. We need promotion. We need to get there as quick as possible, and I'm sure our loanees will help us. We don't start the FA Cup until September and November for the FA Trophy as well. So it'd be nice to see if we can all win a couple of trophies along the way. And our preview sees us 17th in the predictions. I think we're going to go straight up, although Carlisle are 1-91 to win the league. That's insane. So let's jump into our first season and let's see if we can get it out of this non-league football and into the Football League. It looks like our makeshift side for Morecombe has got ourselves promoted to League 2. We're back into the Football League, folks, after a very long season, so it seems. 46 games played in the end, 81 points after a very, very good start to the season. We lost our way a little bit in the middle, but we soon clawed it back to get into the playoffs, having to go through a playoff, a semi-final and then a final, and it's Carlisle that go through with us as well, despite the fact that we finished an incredible 30 points adrift of Carlisle. That's crazy. They lost 4 games, not to us unfortunately, and looks like they beat us twice. Not pretty. The main thing is to get out of this division as quick as possible, because it is hard with that one promotion spot and a playoff spot as well. Edwards gets second best player in the league, and Stretton 33 goals this season, which is quite creditable as well. Edwards 19 assists. He also gets 8 player of the match awards as well, alongside Stretton, who's got 7. There is some good news, however. It's not the FA Cup, but it is the FA Trophy. Carlisle down to 10 men. They go ahead in the 8th minute, which is just not fair, really. It doesn't even get us out on the running yet. But we do come back into the game after a very good season. We finished things off against the league leaders, and we denied them the league and cup double. And a superb finish at the end by Stretton, which does see us lift the FA Trophy. A wonderful trophy that is as well, to go alongside with our promotion. Fantastic. Hopefully it'll see us in good stead going into the Football League next season. The FA Cup, however, we lost to Barnsley in the end. Not sure what it was. 4-2. Wow, and they were of League One, so we've got some way off catching up with that sort of level. Our squad, which we will be losing a couple of players. Hopefully we might be able to get them back on loan, possibly. It would be nice. Although there's a couple of players with no value at all. If we can get them in just on salary, I'd be more than happy to bring them in. There's 3 players there: Bryant, Clayton, Haven. Would love to bring him in. If we can bring him back on loan, fantastic. Same with Josh King as well, who did remarkably well. So 42 goals then for Stretton. Fantastic buy for £25,000. It seems a bargain. Songo, he's now 34, 25 and 5. That's not bad from, I'm thinking it's the DM position actually. He must have played alongside Toilet maybe. Who knows. Edwards though, 47 games, 18 and 22. Was he our winger? He's 33 now, so we're going to have to look to replace these at some point. But hopefully they'll be with us for, well, I think they will be with us for another season. But hopefully they won't retire just yet, I don't think. But it's a good start so far. We've got a few youngsters coming through as well who did get some game time, who's showing a lot of potential. We'll see how that goes, and they're early on cheap money as well. Apart from Dobson, he's on £925 a week. That's incredible for the 18-year-old. We're going to have to do something about that, I think. So, League 2 next season, where will we be financially? Okay, they've nearly doubled our wage budget, which is great. And we've got 600,000 to play with in the transfer budget, which probably will go into wages so we can get some players on a free. I think that would be the way to go. Or if we get some more loan players in, that would be even better. But we'll see if we can do a couple of deals and bring some more. If we could get more youngsters in now early in the lower leagues, build them up, we might be able to challenge when we get to the top division. Well, we have another eventful window, so it seems. We do lose £3.3 thousand worth of players going out the door, all on loan, to be fair. Some of the youngsters need to get some game time, so we're just offloading them out that way. We do bring in quite a few players though, £52,000 worth spent. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we'll go through some of the ones of note really. Harvey Arujo from Fulham, 40,000, left back, 21 years old. I think he's going to be pretty good for us, although I think we bought another left back, so he could end up being our backup, but we'll see what happens. So I'm hoping he'll get some game time anyway. Ben Grist from Boston, £12,000 we paid for this young lad. A central defender, 21 years old. He can also play in cam position as well, so that's going to be quite handy for us. Ryan Galvin, I think he's the left back I was talking about. He is 25 years old, comes in on a free, although we are paying £700 a week for him. So we did have the money. We didn't really spend big, so all them transfer money went into wages. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that, to be fair. We also bring in Nico O'Reilly as well on a free from Manchester City. We are paying heftily for him though, £1,200 a week. I was surprised he wanted to come to us really. He's going to be our camp player for this season, although he can play up front as well, so I'm pretty chuffed with that. Some of them stats are amazing. How long he's going to be with us for, I don't know, because I'm sure he will be quickly picked up. We're also bringing in Abdul Malik on a free. He's going to be our left winger this season. He looks pretty decent, high potential. So we're going to try and use him. And there's quite a lot of other players that are coming on a free, including Bryant and Nichols from Newcastle and Arsenal, who were on loan to us last season. They come on a free, although we have loaned out Bryant, because we've brought better defenders in. I didn't realise we could get better defenders in, and we have. So he's gone out on loan. He's still got high potential, and he's only 19 years old, and some of them stats still look pretty good, and I'm sure we're going to use him at some point. And then Josh Nichols from Arsenal, again another bright spark at the back, although I'm sure he was a right back before. So we're going to carry on with the same formation, although we have got Abdul Malik locked in. I don't think there's anybody else that can play there really. Stretton Edwards, no, we're going to keep this young lad in. We're going to move him as an inside forward for this season. We have also got Greengrass. He's pretty good as well, actually. High potential, but we've got better central defenders in there. So, but to be as a backup at 17 years old, we tried to move him out on loan. Hopefully he'll get some game time. But if we pick our best 11, it looks like this, and it looks pretty solid for the coming season. We played Arsenal in a friendly. I didn't realise that was going to happen, and we got hammered 7-1, so that's pretty expected. Millwall are in the Championship, I believe, and they beat us 2-0, but we did beat Notts County 3-2, so that was nice. We started our campaign against Oldham, 1-1 draw. We were winning that game until the 88th minute. Fleetwood we beat, Crawley we beat, Gillingham, Shrewsbury even, and Fleetwood was actually the Carabao Cup first round, so we Nico O'Reilly got 4 goals in that, all 4. We lost to Burton on penalties in the next round, so that was disappointing. And Fleetwood we beat in the league 2-0. A lot better affair this time around. We're into the Bristol Street Motors as well as the FA Cup later on, and we've got Chesterfield, Liverpool under 21s and Stockport in that competition. We are top of the table. Again, we were top of the table last season and we kind of faded away drastically. Hopefully it won't happen again. We've got better players in this time around. And we are predicted 200-1 to go straight back down. We're not bottom, which is an improvement of recent rebuilds, but yeah, I'm not expecting us to go down, but I would like us to stay up and survive for the first couple of seasons, and then make a go for it while we build our finances. So let's jump into season 2 and let's see what that will bring us. After a very good start in League 2 with all them wins right at the beginning, we did go on a run of not winning a game for about a month or so. But we did manage to win a massive 5-3 victory over Tranmere. December was pretty much the same, no wins. However, we did draw an awful lot, including this one against Carlisle, who came up with us 1-1. But then suddenly the turn of the year, we started to pick up a little bit of momentum as well, despite FM in Reading 2-1 in this game. Along the way, we did thrash Salford 4-0 at home. And a goal by Stretton just before the half-time sees us secure points and a place in the playoffs at the end of the season, where we played Newport and we beat them 3-0 in the first leg, and then beating them at 3-0 away from home, securing a 6-0 aggregate win, sending us to the final of the playoffs, where we played our old rivals Carlisle. Once again, they seem to be everywhere, but they do go ahead in this game 1-0 in the final after 12 minutes. But I am happy to say, and ecstatic to say the least even, that we do claw it back with an equaliser in the 37th minute. So still a long way to go, but that did secure a 1-1 draw after 90 minutes, heading into extra time, where we secure a win and a place in League 1. So back-to-back promotions this season. Wonderful stuff. And there is confirmation. We did finish in 7th position, so I think we were the last of the playoff candidates, where we just scrape in ahead of Grimsby. We finish below Barnet, Carlisle and Newport by some way, actually. Beating Newport 6-0 over the 2 legs was fantastic, considering it was nearly 10 points the difference. Competition-wise, which seems to be a lot going on, in the FA Cup we lost to Portsmouth in the third round, 3-1. Second round by Burton in the Carabao on penalties. And the Bristol Street Motors we lost in the second round. Oldham again. And in the group stage we did finish second behind Stockport, actually. We beat Stockport and Chesterfield, losing to Liverpool. And our goal difference was -1 as well. We lost 5-1 to Liverpool. Wow. Their only win, and they did lose the other 2 games. So yeah, we were quite lucky to go through in the end. 33 and 6 there for Stretton, the 25-year-old. It's worth 1.2 million now. I mean, I hate to think what we would do without him. However, Nico Riley, worth 4.5 million. Wow, he will be picked up. There's no doubt about that. He did 21 and 9, which is fantastic. And Sanderson, another striker that we got, 13 and 1 with 10 starts. Edwards, 13 assists, 14 for Hurst, which is fantastic. And our left winger that we did lock in didn't really perform that well, to be perfectly honest, so we may go back to the drawing board. He is 24 years old, so maybe we should have used a younger person, I guess. Nichols, our right back, I think 2 and 9, which isn't too bad. 9 assists there for Galvin as well. Goalkeepers, Harvey Collins, the 24-year-old, 24 conceded in 15, and our first choice goalkeeper Burgoyne, 63 and 44. So we've got 2 pretty good goalkeepers. Whether or not they'll be good enough for League One, I don't know, but we will have to have a look into the free agents market again going to the next season, unless we are being given tons of money, of which we're not. $500,000, it's still a lot of money. We've got 1.7 in the bank, which is good, and they've almost doubled our wages budget once again anyway, so we'll have a lot of contracts to probably renew or not renew. And I'm probably thinking Nico Riley, is he wanted? He is wanted. Cardiff, Millwall, Portsmouth or Watford. The question is, will they be able to cough up $4.5 million? That's the question. We do manage to sell somebody for some money this season. Our goalkeeper, Harry, he's now 31 years old. He's gone to Bournemouth for 100k. That's incredible. We've managed to sell a player for 100,000. That must be our highest sale ever. And must be. I'm going to check it up. But yeah, everybody else has gone on loan, but 100,000. Thank you, Bournemouth. On the ins, however, we do bring in Rodney on a free transfer. He will be playing in the DM position. He looks pretty solid, and at 22 years old, a welcome addition, especially for a freebie. We do spend some money, 22,000 on Ruben Butt from Salford. He's going to be our left back for this season. Got good potential, 20 years old, and some of them stats are pretty decent. From Wrexham for £18,000, we bring in a goalkeeper. He's currently injured actually, which isn't clever. But again, he looks pretty solid as well. Good aerial reach, he can jump. He's not too bad all around anyway. Good reflexes and one-on-ones. And the next 4 players are on loan to us. From Birmingham, we bring in Jess Derry to play on the left wing. Seth Ridgen from Fulham. He's going to be, again, a DM option. Freddie Simmons from Brighton to play out the back. And from Manchester United, 18-year-old Harley Emsden-James. Again, another all-rounded player. Very good stats actually at 18. And we will be locking in 2 of the players. Rodney and Butt comes in. And I think everything else picks the side for themselves. As you can see, Rodney comes out and so does Butt as well. But apart from that, it's a very, very solid side all the same. And we've done remarkably well again at the start of the season. Notts County, we beat 3-1. We beat Wickham, Wrexham and Doncaster. But we do lose to Stockport, so we do lose our unbeaten run. The Carabao Cup, however, we got to the second round after beating Bristol City 5-2. But we did lose to Leicester. So that was a pretty close run thing in the end. We were in the Bristol Street Motors Trophy where we got Everton under-21s, Crewe and Grimsby. And we're currently lying second in the table, which is fantastic. Joint top, only just by goal difference. And this season we are predicted to finish, wow, okay, all promoted teams mid-table, as all the teams got relegated from the Championship are expected to go up. In fact, we beat Wrexham, which is fantastic. They're predicted to finish 4th. Brilliant. So let's jump into our 3rd season and let's see if we can get back-to-back promotions. We carried on winning games, including a 3-1 victory over Wimbledon, as life in League One seemed very comfortable indeed. Wigan were also taught a lesson at their own ground, 3-0 winners for ourselves with a cracking 3rd goal. We did, however, take the odd hammering, but we also dug deep to beat some very big teams in this division as well. Then disaster struck in January, where we lost Nico O'Reilly, arguably our best player, for $3.4 million to Stoke. But not long after his departure, we lost our way a little bit, including a loss to Charlton and Peterborough once again. However, we still kept winning games, Wrexham being the latest one towards the end of the season with a month to go. And by the time we played Cardiff, we were dreaming of a playoff position near the top of the table with this 4-3 victory. But by the time we played Bradford, positions were already decided. And decided they were. We finished in 2nd position, automatic promotion to the Championship. That is an incredible ride we're witnessing at the moment. We're only finished 2 points behind Charlton. Yeah, they beat us twice. So yeah, if we had drawn one of them or won one of them, things might have been a little bit different. We might have got our first title in these 3 years. Cardiff go up as well, who finished in 5th through the playoffs. The cup competitions, we got knocked out by Rotherham in the second round of the Bristol Street Motors, losing on penalties in that one. The second round by Leicester in the Carabao Cup, as we know. And the second round by Rochdale in the FA Cup, a 2-1 loss at home in that one as well. But we can be forgiven for them cup losses, as we have gained another promotion. Our squad, because we lost Nico O'Reilly, doesn't seem that great stats-wise, because we didn't have him in the side for the second half of the season. However, 33 goals and 6 for Stretton there. Sanderson, 12 on 1. 7 and 14 for Jess Derry. He's done a wonder for us, stepping in on loan. Would be nice to bring him in. He's worth 7 million though. Ouch. If we can get him on loan again, that'd be fantastic. Arujo, 6 and 3. 5 and 3 for Abdul as well. 5 and 14 for Hurst. 11 assists there for Butt though, so he did pretty well. Not sure if he's improving or not, but he'd done the job for us. He's worth up to 3 million, however. Rodney, 1 and 3. That's disappointing. I expected a lot more, it has to be said. But he's quite stable in the middle, so as long as he's doing a job there, that's fantastic. Some of the loanees have done really, really well. Goalkeepers, Okonkwo, 51 games, 60 goals conceded. That's a big difference as well. Not conceding many goals. And our other goalkeeper, Collins, only conceded 5 in 3. So that's a decent return as well. So going into next season, hopefully we'll have that money from the O'Reilly transfer as well, and we've been given a whopping £4 million, even though we've only got 3.5 in the bank. The wages budget has gone up. I'm assuming the wages will go up as well accordingly going into the championship, but we will be still minnows in that division, and we will have to bolster our side phenomenally if we are going to survive. We did end up releasing a fair few players, some of the youngsters not really making the cut, and Thomas Bryant has gone out on loan to Rochdale. He was our left back, I think he was. He was not really improving that much very quickly, so I'm hoping he will get some game time at Rochdale, and hopefully he'll come back and we may be able to use him. However, £1.8 million spent, not the full 4 million, obviously, because we have not got the money. But 1.8 million, contracts were renewed, and that was all we could. Well, to be honest, I didn't really want to rock the boat and go mad. But first player we're bringing is Daniel Rigg on a free transfer to be our cam player. Some good attributes there. They're all in the right places, and got some high potential with him as well, and only 22 years old. Next up is Lee Shahar from Newcastle for £110,000, a right back. Really is a backup, to be perfectly honest. Didn't have many right backs at all. In fact, I think we only had 1 and 2 possibly. One was the central defender, so yeah, so just somebody else in just to cover. Next up we're bringing Amaro Nallo from Liverpool, £425,000. He's going to be our centre back on the left hand side. Again, another young player, 21 years old, high potential. Looks phenomenal at this age as well. Luke Taylor comes in from Everton on loan. He's going to be another central defender. I'm really racking out our back line, because I do feel we are going to be bombarded a little bit this season. Next up, Jay Grouse from Leeds. He's on loan as well. He's going to come in as our left winger. He can also play up top as well if need be, but essentially he'll be our left wing. Next up is Nazim Benchata from Fulham, 750,000, another right back. More potential. He came on later on in the window, and inevitably he's going to be challenging Nichols for that position. Kobe Barber from Chelsea, again another fantastic player, 20 years old, high potential, can play either wing, so he'll be good cover for both of them. And finally, James McConnell on a free. He comes in as a extra DM player. In fact, he'll probably slot straight into the team. We are going to be locking in McConnell and Butt for this season, but I'm determined to get his potential up there. He's got very high potential, and I don't think he played much last season, or he may have done actually. Just didn't improve that much, so we'll see what happens this season. If we pick our best 11 now, it kind of looks like this. It looks very, very good actually. We're very solid up top, and I think we're more secure at the back as well now. and things have gone okay. We've lost 3 games already, only 2 of them in the league. So we started our campaign against Cardiff, 1-0 win, fantastic. Then we lost to Sunderland, we smashed Watford, drew with Preston, smashed Norwich, which is a fantastic result, and we beat Swansea as well away from home, which was a really good result. We did lose to Bristol City, however, as well. So that did rack up 2 losses for us this season. The Carabao Cup, we just made it to the second round once again, this time losing to Blackburn after beating Tranmere 4-1. We're currently lying 6th in the table, which is a fantastic start to the season. 3 points off the leaders Bristol City, who we have already lost to. And if we have a look where we are predicted to finish, we are expected to go straight back down. I'm determined we are going to be defying them odds, I feel. If we escape relegation, mid-table will be fantastic, but we just want to escape it and at least get another season in here. Anything more than that will be a bonus. So let's jump into season 4. It's going to be a high ask to go back to back promotion, but let's survive first. We knew this season was going to be tough. However, we did come away with some victories, especially against Huddersfield, and a 1-0 victory at home to Oxford. Just one of a few wins we had in the space of a couple of months, as we got beat by Sheffield United and battered by Derby. But our second half of the season's go, we did have a better half. However, losses were still there, and we did manage to get this one 2-1. And a fantastic result against West Brom as well at home, 4-2, which was an amazing result towards the end of the season. But losses against Barnsley and Cardiff, and we finished in an incredible 15th position. We survived. We finished round about mid-table, just under, and we finished well ahead of the relegation. 14 points ahead of relegation and just about 10 points, 10-15 behind playoff places as well. So evenly matched. What's more notable is we won 15 games, but we scored 81 goals, conceding 80. So only a +1. So we really need to do better defensively. We survived. That was the main thing. Bristol City, Hull and Derby all get promoted to the Premiership. Competition-wise, we did get as far as the 5th round in the FA Cup, which is pretty good. However, we did lose to League One side Luton 2-1. And we lost in the second round of the Carabao once again. We just can't get past that round at all. Losing 3-2 this time to Blackburn. Squad-wise, not too bad at all. Stretton, our leading goal scorer, 27 goals in 49. Brilliant. Grouse, 16-6. He's on loan to us. Rig, though, however, 10-12 from the camp position. That's pretty good. That's really impressive. Arujo as well, 9-1. 9-2 there for Hurst. 5-2 for Butt, who's just not really gone up that much at all, has he, really? That's not impressive. However, another season in the Championship, maybe he might develop a bit more, but we can't stand any more in ceremony, really. Our back line has conceded one heck of a lot of goals. 12 assists there for Barber. We've also got 13 from McConnell as well, which is fantastic. And our goalkeepers, where are they? Collins, 4 goals conceded in 3 games. He'd got an assist in one of them as well. Wow. Conquo, 82 in 48. We are going to have to look again at the defence, because the scoring goals is not a problem. Defensively, we are shocking, and that's something we are going to have to remedy and probably sieve out some of these players who are just not performing. We've been given £2 million for next season. We are overspending on wages, so we are going to have to cut that back or move some of that transfer budget into it. But we have £5 million in the bank, which is quite nice. So from this, we will have to improve our back line once again, or may have to look at another formation possibly. But I think at the moment, we're doing pretty well with what we've got. We just have to be a little bit more clever. Wages ate up majority of the budget. However, we did manage to spend just over £500,000, including £250,000 from Arsenal for Joshua Tahu, a left back. He's going to be, at the moment, playing second fiddle to Butt and giving Butt one more final chance to see if he can improve some. But this guy looks immense, and I'm just wondering whether I may have made a mistake and instead I might just lock him in instead, because he looks very, very good indeed. Next up is Lewis Kumas from Aberdeen, £200,000. Left wing. He can play on the right, cam and forward. So he's going to be very, very versatile. But initially he is going to be our left winger. We also bring in Will Lancashire on a free transfer. A forward. Stretton's playing pretty well, but he's now 28. So we need a backup. And in fact, he probably can come in and wrestle that position from him. In fact, he's played 9 games, 4 goals already, so it appears that he's taken the that top jersey. Freddie Simmons also comes in on loan from Brighton, a backup centre back. And one more, George Hall from Birmingham, 155,000, a backup cam. In fact, he could probably move into that cam position, but we had to get the board approval on this one because we didn't have enough money. So very pleased with them. We are locking some players in. Grist, we're locking him into defence because he keeps moving into the DM position. He is one of our better centre backs, so that's where I want him. Butt's going to be locked in as well. Like I say, I'm going to give him one more chance. And Kumas on that left wing. So if we pick our best 11, Grist actually now stays there. Arujo comes in on that left hand side. So maybe it might be a mistake to allow Butt to have that extra season, but I just want to give him one more chance before we make that ultimate decision. So far, I've been pretty pleased with the results we've been getting, and a big bonus this season already. We're through to the 4th round of the Carabao Cup already, would you believe? We beat Bristol Rovers 3-1 in the first round. Penalties against Sunderland in the second, and we've just gone and beat Derby 1-0 thanks to a Rodney goal. Absolutely ecstatic about that. The league, however, we beat Watford 1-0. Drew with Oxford, beat Sunderland, beat Charlton, drew with Palace, and drew with Birmingham as well. So I'm pretty happy with the results so far. We are currently lying in 8th position, unbeaten. Brilliant. Always a good start when you're unbeaten. And we've got Chelsea in the next round of the Carabao, so it's a big bumper payday for us in that game. The season preview sees us into 20th position. That's better than last season, I believe. I think we were bottom, I think. So, yeah, we're predicted 20th, but we will be aiming for mid-table. So let's jump into our 5th season, and let's see if we can make any inroads up this table. First half of the season sees us grab some big scouts, including this one at home to Bournemouth. A 4-1 victory. And a comfortable 5-1 victory over Norwich, with Lancashire getting 4 of them goals. A hat-trick in 2 minutes. That's just mad. And the second half of the season didn't let up either, as we take a commanding victory over Middlesbrough, winning 6-2. And Lancashire up to his tricks again, and this time netting 4 more goals in a 5-3 victory over Huddersfield. QPR were no exception either. They were battered 5-0, sending us to the playoff semi-finals, which we played Fulham in the semi-finals. The first leg we win 2-1 away from home. Lancashire getting the winner in that one. And Barber netting the winner on the night, giving us a commanding 3-1 two-legged victory, which sent us to the final, and we played Crystal Palace and got battered. Did pretty well against Crystal Palace in the league. I know we won one of the games 3-0 away from home, and somehow, somewhere in this one-off game, we just didn't turn up, despite taking the lead after 6 minutes. Lancashire again on the score sheet, but we were just overrun with a Premiership place at stake. So a 4th place finish in the end behind Crystal Palace, so you could arguably say that it's fair with the top 3 going up. But we only missed out on automatic promotion by 3 points. We had the second least losses in the division alongside Coventry, with 9 losses this season, which is fantastic. But that loss in the final, the 7-1 hammering, we might as well just not turned up for that one at all and taken a 3-0 loss. Competitions, however, we got to the 3rd round of the FA Cup, losing to Stoke City 1-0 at home. But the Carabao Cup against Chelsea, that's where we fell, and we lost 3-0, which is a fantastic result. I'm really pleased with that. I mean, it could have been 7-1. I would have been more inclined to accept 7-1 against Chelsea than 7-1 against Crystal Palace, to be fair. And now squad-wise, we have got a new top goal scorer with no Stretton in the midst of it. He's now 28. He did score 3 goals, but Lancashire, 45 goals in 52 games, as well as 4 assists. So 49 goal contributions. Fantastic for the 25-year-old. Kumas as well, 11 and 10. That's pretty good stats as well on that left-hand side. Barber, 9 and 15. Absolutely superb at right wing, I think it was. Rigg, 9 and 7. Like him to do more. McConnell in midfield, 7 and 14. Fantastic. Rodney, 3 and 7. And everybody else kind of struggled, really. And but how did he do? Well, he has gone up a rating, I think. He's a full 3 now. So, still on the fence with him. I might let him battle it out with the other left back, who was Tahu, wasn't it, from Arsenal. He only played 2 games off the bench. Yeah, we'll let him battle it out next season between the pair of them, I think. See who gets into that position. Goalkeeper-wise, Nkonkwo, 71 conceded in 54. It's probably not surprising with the amount of games we've played. But yeah, if we're going to go up, I think a goalkeeper is definitely on the radar for this season's window, I think. 14 clean sheets. If we can knock 10, 20 goals out off that, then I would say we will go up. So I think everywhere else, I think I'm really happy with. We may just need to bolster 1 or 2 positions, but other than that, I think the goalkeeper is where we need to look at next. And we've been given £3 million, which is fantastic. We've got just under 6 in the bank, and we've got a whopping £147,000 a week in wages as well, which is a phenomenal as well. But like I say, we only need a goalkeeper, and if we can spend a good whack of that on a goalkeeper and get a decent one in, then I think chances of getting into the Premiership next season will be quite high. So we lose a few players this season, this window actually. 4 players we release. They didn't want to renew any contracts, mainly because they didn't get much game time. And we lose Leo Shahar. He's gone to Wimbledon for £17,000. Not an awful lot. He didn't really appear when we brought him in. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but it did free up a little bit of wages. Not a lot, but and it brought some money in as well. On the ins, however, we did spend £2.4 million from Brighton for 425. We bring back Freddie Simmons, a centre-back option, really good, 22 years old. He was quite happy to come back. We decided to get the wallet out, and Brighton were happy to offload him. We'll come back to Tom in just a second. Tyrell Ashcroft from Sheffield United, 450,000, a right back option, another decent player, 26 years old, got a lot of experience, so hopefully he'll help our youth players develop as well. Charlie Webster on a free transfer. He comes in as a DM option. He can also play wing and cam as well. So pretty good backup to have in the middle of the park. And Tom Westwood from Swansea, £1.5 million. He's a goalkeeper, lots of potential. And some of them stats are better than Okonkwo's as well. So he did concede an awful lot of goals last season, but I did say we needed another goalkeeper. And even the money that we had, it just wasn't enough to bring any decent goalkeepers, and he was the best that was available. And to be perfectly honest, he's pretty good, 20 years old. We should be able to get our money back on him. He's worth up to £10 million already, so yeah, we'll definitely make our money back on him. So hopefully he will grow into that position this season, and hopefully not concede as many goals as Okonkwo did last season. So results so far this season, we have been knocked out of the Carabao Cup first round. We lost to QPR 2-1, which I'm not too concerned about, but we did beat Fulham in the first game of the Championship 2-1. We then beat Charlton, West Brom. Then we hit a bit of a lull. Derby losing to them and drawing with Sheffield United and Millwall before beating the leaders Birmingham 4-3 with an 86th minute winner from Webster. So that does leave us in 5th position currently. 2 points behind the leaders Fulham now, and Birmingham and Leicester, who found themselves back in the division. And the season preview sees us just climb that 1 place, but we are now 50-1 now to win the league. Just seeing if we have anybody in the Dream 11. Not yet. So let's jump into season, I think it's 6 now, and see if we can at least go that 1 better than we did in the final last season. We had only suffered 4 defeats up until this point to the turn of the year, and a 7-1 hammering was a really good result, showing our intention this season. And a 5-3 victory over Oxford was quickly followed, and 2 goals in added time, in stoppage time even, by George Hall sealed the deal against Burnley in a 3-0 victory. We suffered a further few more defeats coming towards the end of the season, including this 1-0 defeat at home to Derby. But wins over Luton and Huddersfield towards the end of the season has helped us into second position, which means, boys and girls, we are in the Premiership. We finally made it 3 seasons in this division where we have struggled, and we came close last season, and this season we have finally done it. Third time of asking, no need for playoffs, and we only do it by the 1 point and only just behind Leicester by 4 points. So we still go up without having to win a title apart from the playoffs. But this is absolutely amazing to get out of this division with the team that we've built so far is fantastic. And McConnell gets second best player of the league, and Lancashire wins the Golden Boot once again. 27 goals this time around. Competition wise, however, FA Cup 4th round by Sunderland, we lost 4-1. Wow, that's the Sunderland are in the Premiership actually. They battered us 4-1. And in the Carabao, we know about Queen's Park Rangers where we lost that game as well. But it looks like we may have stolen it on the final day or something. Wow. Well, we'll take it, whatever happens. It's a close run thing with Norwich in 4th position. Ipswich obviously going through with the P next to them. So I am guessing that they did win the playoffs. So in all fairness, the top 3 going through, which is fair. There's a few players I didn't actually get any game time actually, but 28 goals in all by Lancashire, which isn't an awful lot compared to last season. 13 and 8 there for Kumas, which is fantastic. McConnell 11 and 10. There's a lot of interest for him. He's worth up to 30 million. We're going to need him next season, I think, unless we get bags of money. But I don't think we got him for much anyway, so we're making a packet if we do sell him, but I'd rather not. He's only 26 years old. Webster comes in with 11 and 6, 7 and 9 for Rigg. George Hall, 6 and 2, which is fantastic. Goalkeeper, though, Westwood, 52 conceded. Brilliant. And that's probably why we did get promoted as well. I wanted to chop off about 20 goals from last season, and he's just gone and done that. Wow, 52 conceded. That's brilliant. What we're all waiting for is how much money are we going to be getting into the Premiership? Ooh, £34 million. We haven't got it, but we're waiting for the payment for the Premiership though. But that is an awful lot. That's insane. And look at the wages. Oh my God. I mean, we've got nearly over £300,000 a week in wages as well. We're going to have fun spending this, that's for sure. That is our budget, and that's what we are going to be spending. So fingers crossed we can pick up a few more gems. So once again, we'll start with some transfers out. There's a few players that have left that have declined somewhat, and they just cannot get into the team, like Lennon Dobson. He's gone for 135,000 to Wrexham, and we also lose Kyle Hurst, who's been absolutely phenomenal for us on right wing, but we now have picked up better players, and he's gone to Burton for 750,000. So we still managed to get some value out of him. And Stretton and Bencheta have gone out on loan. We're moving into the ins, and we did spend £30 million, which is crazy. So in reverse order, Will Wright comes in on a free transfer. Looks pretty good. A striker option. So he'll be competing for that striker role. He looks really, really good actually. Good potential on him as well. He can finish. Physicals look really nice. And probably one of the better options as well. And if you have made it to this video so far, I am trying to win the Premiership. And we have done so far right through this rebuild. I have only signed English players. Not sure if I mentioned it right at the very beginning or not. Quite hard to pick players that are not English, so it's yeah, it's very, very difficult. But some of these guys have got some high potential, so we just see how we're doing. So we managed to get to the Premiership so far, so we're not doing anything wrong at the moment. But yeah, so if you are wondering why I haven't picked this player or gone for this player, it's because we're only picking English players only, and those that want to come to the club. Next up is Junai Byfield from Tottenham. Again, another option at the back, high potential, 22 years old, and not many defenders out there that would want to come. So until we get our reputation up, we'll be seeing some more players like this. Next up is Travis Akomea from Queen's Park for £2.5 million. A central defender. We needed to shore up our back line and get better players in, and these are just perfect upgrades. 6'4" as well, and very physical. Next up is Harrison Miles from Celtic, £5 million. He comes in as a DM, a midfielder, or centre back, but DM potentially. Again, physicals look really nice, mentals as well, and he's got a great first touch with him. 23 years old. Next up is Sam Sparks from Forest, 6.5 million, a right back option. Yes, I keep buying right on left backs. It's because our fullbacks just are not growing quick enough, and in the now we need to start upgrading and not hold any sentiment to any of them now, as I tend to do in majority of my rebuilds. Hugh Morgan-Ross from Blackburn, £7.5 million. He comes in as a right winger. Again, another upgrade and a very good option. And finally, Alex Marriott from Leeds for 8.5. He comes in as a cam player as well, and he can play either side of the wings. He's very physical though, so yeah, another great player, 21 years old, and again some potential. And I have to say, we've started off our first Premiership season fantastically. Our friendlies, we were unbeaten. Then we played Manchester United. We drew with them 0-0, which is a fantastic result even though it was at home. Brighton we absolutely smashed 4-1 away from home. We struggled against Blackburn in the Carabao Cup first round, which we did win 1-0. We went on to beat Hull 4-2 in the league, which is again another brilliant result. And then we lost to Preston in the Carabao Cup third round. So we'll have one less cup competition to be distracted about. At the moment, yes, you can rub your eyes. It is true, we are lying in second position. We're unbeaten after 3 games. Granted, we've only played Manchester United, really, of the bigger teams, but we'll see how we do against the other ones. Spurs, on the other hand, have beaten Liverpool, Newcastle and Southampton. Wow. Predictions for this season, I'm guessing we are going to be bottom. We are, wow, 1,000 to 1. Okay, we can definitely upset them odds as long as we win the teams. I say we could beat anybody, Brentford downwards. I think that would be a fair assessment to survive. So let's jump into the next season. I believe this could be season 6, 7 now. I've lost count. And see if we can survive this season. We didn't fare well against the bigger clubs, unfortunately. We lost 5-2 to Man City, a beating by Liverpool, and taught a lesson by Chelsea. However, December was a good month. We were unbeaten throughout the whole month, including this 3-2 victory over Everton at home. However, we were getting as much wins as we were getting losses, so they just kept coming sporadically, but 3 points were always very welcome, especially this one against Southampton, as well as smashing Sunderland 5-1 towards the end of the season, which means we survive relegation and to finish in the top 10 and almost grab ourselves a European spot. By 1 point we lose out by. That is crazy. We finished about 29 points from Arsenal, but a good 30 points from relegation. So we were a lot closer, well, by the 1 point to the top of the table than we were being relegated. Excellent stuff. And Morgan-Ross gets second best player in the league behind Haaland. The FA Cup, we got knocked out by Wolverhampton in the quarterfinals 2-1. Portsmouth are in there as well. They're the only... Oh, and Bristol City. Wow, who knocked out Newcastle? Wow, okay, who got to the final then? That's should be straightforward. Wow, Portsmouth go on and do it from the Championship. That is fantastic news. And the Carabao Cup, as we saw, we got knocked out by Preston 2-0. Squad wise, 19-2 by Will Wright up top, so it looks like he emerges as our main striker. 13-12 for Morgan-Ross. Rig with 10-5. Few assists as well, including 10 from McConnell, which there is a big ask for him. He's now worth up to 39 million. He's now 27, so doing really excellent work there. And we've got a pretty good solid side now, which is fantastic. And our goalkeeper, well, he only conceded 16-45 with 14 clean sheets. That's brilliant. If we can't get anybody better, it looks like Tom Westwood has secured himself as a first team goalkeeper in the Premiership at the minute. He's worth up to 44 million, by the way. Maybe we'll just keep him in. There's no need to change him out at all, I don't think. So going into next season, as we rush towards season 8 now, I think, and we have been given a whopping 41 million. We have got 49 in the bank now, so that's pretty good. Let's go and have a little bit of fun as we try and strengthen the side once again. So as you can see, not much in the way of transfers in or out actually, but we'll start off with the outs first. Freddie Simmons has gone to Barnsley for 1.2. Rodney's also gone. He's gone to Birmingham for 4.5, and we also lose George Hall and Arthur Okonkwo as well for just over $500,000 for the pair of them. Coming in is Spike Brits from Portsmouth for 5 million. A goalkeeper, the best that we really could muster, that wanted to come to the club. Aerial reach, anticipation. He's got good jumping reach, determination, and rushing out. All seems pretty high, accompanying quite a lot of some other good attributes. Next up is Reggie Watson from Chelsea for 17 million Comes in as a DM, lots of potential, looks reasonably good, got good decision making and technique, again to go with quite a few of his physicals. And also we bring in Luke Taylor, as we had him on loan from Everton before as a centre back, and we bring him back for 14 million, and he's only 22 years old, and plenty of room to grow as well, and he was quite successful with us in one of them seasons, so nice to have him back. Everything's gone pretty well. Friendlies you can either take here nor there, but we did beat Sampdoria though. That was a good result. Man City, the first game of the season, we lost 2-1. We did get an equaliser through Will Wright, however Foden scored in the 66th minute to take the win. Norwich will be 1-0. Reggie getting that after 24 minutes. Coventry was a 1-1. Disappointingly, we had to wait to the 93rd minute to score a goal in that one, and Leeds we win on penalties in the Carabao Cup second round. However, we go out in the third to Burnley, and in between time we beat Brentford 2-0 with Kumas scoring 2 goals in a hard fought game. We're currently lying in 8th position, so that's not bad. We're only a few points off European spots now, so I think that's what we're aiming for. If we can get a really good season up and running, we don't have to worry about the Carabao anymore. But a second season normally is pretty hard, as a first season normally goes down as a fluke, but I'm aiming for at least mid-table again, if not higher. This season we will be predicted to finish, well, we're off the bottom. Norwich are now bottom, but we're still 1,000 to 1 to win the league, so we're somewhat way off. So let's jump into season 8 now, and let's see if we can get them odds down, shall we? We only suffered 2 defeats going up to the end of November, including this fantastic 2-0 victory over Arsenal. But 5 defeats in 6 games didn't really help morale much, with especially this hammering by Manchester City. But that was quickly brushed off as results started to go our way, including this 3-0 victory over Everton, a win over Chelsea, and a win over Spurs, which did give us again another 7th place finish. And more importantly, top 9 teams in the division are in Europe, including ourselves. We're in the Europa League. 53 points. We only lost 13 games this season, which is fantastic as well, but we're some way off a 6th place finish by an incredible 17 points in the end, and we had a minus goal difference as well. So again, it's something we are going to have to address one way or another. Something's not working. But however, we are still gaining a top 10 finish, which is fantastic stuff for us. And Will Wright gets 2nd highest goal scorer in the league, 3 goals behind Haaland. And I've just realised Arsenal have won the league an incredible 6 times in 8 seasons. In the Carabao Cup, we got knocked out by Burnley by the odd goal in 7. However, we do win our first major trophy of this rebuild, and for Morecombe at that, beating the league winners Arsenal 2-0 in the FA Cup final. It's nice. Maybe that's the reason why we got into the Europa League and not the Conference League, maybe. But to beat Arsenal, that's brilliant. But onto the squad, and it's Will Wright that has taken over the mantle of our striker. 28 goals in 46 with 4 assists. Daniel Oregi gets 12 and 10. 10 and 3 for Kumas as well, the left winger. Morgan Ross, I'm assuming he's our right winger now, I'm guessing. 7 and 13, that's what you want from our wingers. Although Kumas only got 3 assists. May need to swap his role out possibly, but apart from that, I mean, it is very sporadic of what everybody else has done. Brits, our second choice goalkeeper, played 3 games, conceding 6, and Westwood, who's looking pretty good now at 23 years old. Yeah, some of them stats look alright. 68 conceding, 45 with 12 clean sheets. It can only get better for us, and there's only a couple of players that didn't get any game time, including Nichols and Stretton, who we are trying to offload, as they're not going to be signing a new contract, and their contract ends this season anyway. So let's have a look into the monies wise. We've been given, wow, that is incredible, nearly £100 million to spend in the window, although there's not much in the way of wages budget, so we are going to probably transfer some of that into the wages budget, and obviously contracts will need renewing, but we're looking very, very good. Season profit 27.7 million. We've got £28.5 million in sponsorships. That's even better. So let's go ahead and spend this money while we have it. So starting off with the outs and the released players, Stretton has gone. Loyal forward, he didn't want to sign another contract, even if it was for a year. over 120 goals for the club in his 300 odd appearances. Fantastic, and helped us to get into the position where we are, so thank you very much for your service. Josh Nichols has also gone on free, and we also lose and make money at the same time. So Charlie Webster came to us on a free. We let him go to Ipswich for 9.5 million. Rougeau comes in for, I think it was £40,000 when we first got him. It's gone to Salernitana for 26 million. And Lewis Kumas, the left winger, 200,000 it cost us, quite a lot at the time. He's gone to Bournemouth for up to 57 million pounds. Offers we just could not refuse. And Ben Christ, I think he came in for about 12,000. He's gone for up to 12 million. So 90 million pounds brought into the club for next to nothing. However, we do spend 125 million pounds in the process. First one from Leicester, 32 million pounds. Ben Worrell comes in as a centre-back option. We have revamped our back line just a little bit. Superb stats, 20 concentration, 18 jumping reach. Physicals look amazing, same with his mentors, and he's going to be an absolute powerhouse at the back. Next up, we bring in Danny Lane from Man City for 40 million pounds. Another centre-back. Physicals look amazing, 6'4", and he's pretty quick as well for that height as well. And again, physicals and mentals look amazing, as well as the rest of his stats, and he's only 22 years old. Next up, we bring in Josh Connolly from Southampton, 15 million pounds, a DM option. I think he's going to be our first choice DM, I think, this time around, or he's going to be battling it out with a couple of other players, but some of these stats look amazing. 23 years old, high potential. Michael Phillips Walton from Sunderland, he's going to be replacing Kumas on that left hand side. And finally, we bring in from Manchester United, £3 million, very cheap, Amir Ibragimov. Yeah, he is English, and he's going to be another left wing option for us. 25 years old. They're going to be battling out between themselves on that left hand side. So far so good. We've only conceded 1 goal in all our friendlies, and to top things off, we win the Charity Shield. We beat Arsenal 3-0 with Wright getting the goals in that one. The league, however, 2 wins, 2 draws. We drew Brighton and Bristol City both away from home, but we beat West Ham and Hull at home, conceding a goal in each game. The Europa League, which we're now in, we have got Ammonia, Genk, Valencia, Dortmund, Antwerp, Trnava, Legia and Braga. We are currently lying 4th in the table, 4 points behind leaders Man City, Liverpool and Chelsea just behind them. And we're predicted, wow, that is a pretty good prediction, 19th in the Europa League. That's brilliant. And we've got Birmingham in the next round of the Carabao. So where are we predicted to finish this time around? We have had just a couple of increases. We have moved up the table, 250 to 1, no 1,000 to 1 now. Bristol City, however, who we did draw with away from home, they're 2,000 to 1, and they've just been promoted along with Hull, who we beat. Fulham just got promoted back as well. We drew Brighton and beat West Ham with 7 to 1, 3rd in the table. Wow. So let's jump into our 9th season now. Let's see how we'll do it in Europe, and as well make inroads into the top of the table. This season got us off to a flyer, and there was no excuse either, as we battered Liverpool 2-0 at home. And that was quickly followed by a 3-2 victory over Manchester United, with Will Wright getting the winner in this one as well. We had some high scoring games as well, including this one where Fulham were given no mercy, 6-2 winners there. And Spurs were shown the door with an emphatic 4-0 victory at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But wins were coming more frequently, including at this 4-1 victory away at Palace, where 3 goals came in the last minute. And Everton were no match for us either, with us winning 2-0 away from home. And surprisingly, that gave us the league title. I can't believe it. 3 seasons in the Premiership, and Morecombe have done. I expected another couple of seasons at least, as we were playing in Europe for the first time. But that is an incredible season. All thanks to the back line. It has to be. They're the early places where we improved the players, as well as the left wing as well. But that is incredible. 87 points. We've just demolished the Premiership and have taken Morecombe from the brink of extinction to the top of English football. How long that'll last there, I've got no idea. It'll be up to you to see how far you can take them. But wow, this is unbelievable. Morgan Ross, second best player in the league. Wright gets a joint top goal scorer with Luca from Everton, ahead of Evan Ferguson as well, actually. And just looking at the past winners, we can safely say Morecombe now have disrupted the odds everywhere. I think we were 250 to 1 to win the league. Our side must have really grown over this past season. Competitions, let's have a quick gander then. The Carabao Cup, we got knocked out by Liverpool in the 4th round 2-0. The FA Cup, Manchester United knocked us out in the 3rd round 4-2 at home. Wow, that is a disappointment. And the Europa League, we got all the way to the semi-finals, losing to Juventus. That's not a bad showing for our first time in Europe at all. And to top it off, we're in the Champions League next season. What a story. Let's see what happened in the Europa League if we go through the league phase. Wow, we finished top of that group as well. Unbeaten, 22 goal difference. 7 wins, we beat Braga, Liga, Trnava, Antwerp, Valencia we smashed Genk and beat Ammonia as well. We early drew with Dortmund, which I expected to lose that one, to be perfectly honest. But Dortmund did finish 4th as well, just losing the one game, and that was to Ammonia. Wow. Did they play the same teams? Sort of. Genk they played. So going on into the round of 16, then that's where we go straight into. And we played Braga and we beat them 5-0 over the 2 legs. Quarterfinals, we played Valencia and beat them 3-0 over the 2 legs. We lost 3-1 over the 2 legs to Juventus, which isn't too bad at all. And it's Hertha that play Juventus in the final. Sevilla lost. And it's Juventus that taken on penalties. And we do take away the Community Shield as well. So there's a first for everything. So we've won the FA Cup, the Community Shield, and now we've won the Premiership. How far can this team go? Our squad, which looks very trim now, and to be honest, it doesn't look much to look at, does it really? 27-7 then for Will Wright then. He's only 26 years old. He's worth 73 million, wow. Morgan Ross, he's worth 96 million, 21-12. That's what you want from your left winger, or right winger even. Phillips Walton, I'm assuming on the left hand side then, 18-16, excellent. Rigg in the middle, 15-9, 10-8 for Lancashire as well. So we did get some game time, thankfully. Nice to see him do that as well. He is now 29. He's probably our oldest player here, actually. We have an average age of 25 and squad size of 25, which is probably about right. There's only one player that didn't get any game time, and that was Okamia as well. So not too bad. So that means like 2 goalkeepers got some time. 9 games, 8 conceded for Brits, and Westwood 41 conceded, 47 with 19 clean sheets. That's huge. Reggie Watson got 12 assists. So if you have stuck out for this long, thank you very much for watching. It's been very much appreciative, but you can get hold of this file if you wish. I'll leave the link down in the description. It'll be on Ko-fi.com, and then see how far you can take Morecombe, because they are now Premiership winners and in the Champions League inside 9 seasons as well. So that's pretty good. Finances, you have got £56 million to play with. I'm not sure if all the money's come in. It doesn't look like the sponsorship money's in yet, so that could potentially rise a little bit more as well. And they got 74 million in the bank as well, so that's pretty neat as also. Got a little bit on wages as well. So let's have a look at some records then before we disappear. If we go into club info, and some of their stats have gone up as well, like the training facilities have gone up, youth and youth recruitment. Kept asking for improvements every season. It looks like they're finally doing it now. And estimated value is 2 billion. Goodness me. We're rich, and the reputation is 3.5, nearly 4 star, which is fantastic. Let's have a look at some records then, because we're bound to have blown them out the water. First in the Premiership, fewest league defeats in the season 3. Highest attendance was 10,000. What is our capacity? Because 10,000, really? Is that our capacity? We have got a 10,000 all-seater in the Premiership. How is that even possible? Highest gate receipts, 289,000 against Portsmouth. Highest scorers match, 5-5 with Oxford. Lancashire did get most goals by a player in a season, most league goals, that is 42, but he couldn't break the 52 overall. Nico O'Reilly, what is he doing now? Because we had him and he just vanished. He was sold off to Stoke. He's now at Birmingham. I mean, he's doing reasonably well. Stats-wise, it looks okay. 29 now. Youngest player was Will Radford. Oldest player is Warburton in 1938. He was 57 years old. Oh, my word. Fastest goal, 22 seconds by Grouse against Sheffield United. Lancashire, most goals by player in this game in a 5-1 win over Norwich. Most assists by player in the season's Edwards. I'm not sure if that was on our watch or not. Most clean sheets, 19 by Tom Westwood. Well done. Stretton gets 9 Player of the Match awards. And the oldest goal scorer was Songo, 35 years old. Sequences, most matches won in a row, 11. Matches without losing, 18. If we go on to the transfers, highest fee paid is the 40 million for Danny Elaine from Manchester City. I think he was the defender, wasn't he? And the highest transfer fee received was for Kumas for 45.5 to Bournemouth. If we have a quick look at the tactics as well, just before we go, in case you are interested, it's just a straightforward 4-2-3-1, one inside forward on attack, one winger, 2 DMs, a fullback, a wing back. Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to pause the screen, there's that for in possession. In transition, it's this. And out of possession, it is that. It's very, very basic. So anybody really we want to have a look at that's improved one ahead? But there we go, because he did have quite a high potential, and well, he's worth 60 million. So how much has he improved? He's been with us for a fair while. He has improved, I guess. But if we have a look at progress overall, they have gone up a fair few, but not an awful lot. His physicals and mentals definitely gone up by a lot. But his technicals, probably not so much. His tackling's gone up. Marking's definitely gone up by a fair bit. Same with his crossing as well. So he has improved. But his mentals and physicals by far the best. Right, so that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And smash that like button as well if you did enjoy the video. And if you have any other ones that you would like me to rebuild from a low league, albeit it will take a while, like this one has 9 seasons, so I do appreciate you sticking with it. But until the next rebuild, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.